Hello and welcome to the Velveteen Lounge. Oh, I think Paul's about to join us. I was like, what? Hi, Peter. You're the first one here. Cheers. Good to see you.
Hey there.
I can't do this.
I'll take it.
Thank you. You can get rid of that. Hey. Hey.
Hey there. Wait a minute there.
We don't need any booing.
Booze.
We don't need to boo ourselves.
We didn't need any booze.
Well,
Might be a problem with that
I take that
statement.
back. I take that back.
Allow me to
I'm ready
restate
for some
that.
booze.
Yeah, she is ready. I am totally ready. Totally ready. Okay.
Okay. I know we have a few people here. Peter is the only one who's said hi so far. Oh, there's Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to
Let's
see indeed.
celebrate.
Mhm.
The second Peter is in the room. Phil, too. Yay. All right. I'm glad.
Phil,
Good
yeah.
to see you all.
Gentlemen,
Thank you for
so
joining
good
us
to
this
see you.
evening. Tomorrow.
Hmm?
I was about to say tomorrow was spring, and then I completely boned on what the actual day of the week is. And I'm like, it must be Wednesday because we're live. Hi, Julie. Happy almost spring
Hey,
to
Julie.
you. Yes, but I had to think hard about what day of the week it was, even though we're standing up here. My brain is
You mean as in
fried.
today, here, right
Yes.
now?
Because I was like, Thursday is the equinox. Yeah.
Seriously.
It's been that kind of week.
It has.
And
It has.
it's only Wednesday.
Sometimes you just kind of get out of your mind just with all of these things, and you lose track of the basics. Calendar, time of day, day of year, what it is. Is President Eisenhower still in the office? That kind of
Now
thing.
I'm thinking of the Thin Man, where he's like, where am I?
Where am I? You know?
Where am I?
Well, you're not in a
Yes.
shooting gallery.
Exactly. It is. We've been live for
That time
two
of
whole minutes,
And
and
what's,
I'm not holding a
and what's in your
drink.
hand? You know,
I know.
Peter knows that sound.
What is wrong with it?
Hmm.
Okay, so is
Also, Peter knows that
anyone
sound.
here on spring break?
Oh yeah,
I know
about
it's
that
spring
time.
break time. I thought that we might be missing some people therefore, but New York City is overrun with families.
So you're thinking they're all on break and they're all coming
I
on
think
in.
it's spring break, and then I drove by the college yesterday, and it was dead. So it's spring
Clearly,
break.
it's a thing.
Get you a drink. Thank you, Lisa. Don't mind if I do.
One.
Don't mind if I do. Okay,
I
get me a
think
drink.
I can try that kind of thing.
Can
So
you
you're
reach
thinking,
a shaker glass?
shake a glass.
Please?
I
Hi,
could.
Kalaka boy. Good to see you.
What did you do with the one that was? Oh, that
No,
we did
spring
this.
is spring. I hope you'll be doing
Yeah.
another Easter themed broadcast. Oh, I know. We got to do that again.
Yeah.
We got to do that again.
Mhm.
So last year, for those of you
plastic eggs.
who weren't here last year, I had. Oh, hi, John. Good
Hey,
to see you.
here's
From the
Eliza,
Laissez
baby.
Fairs. Yay, good to see you.
Speaking of laissez le bon temps,
Oh.
well, that actually passed, and now we are like giving things up, aren't we?
Oh, not me.
I'll tell you what, I'm not
I'm
giving
not
up.
Catholic.
I'm not giving up listening to Laissez Fairs, who have like a new album out. Just pointing that out. If you want to drop the link or something, that'd be awesome, John.
I gave up nothing for Lent.
Zero.
But anyway,
Yeah, but
so last year I hid drink names in plastic Easter eggs, and then during our broadcast, Paul went around and hunted for them.
And when I found one, I could pull it out and say, "We're going to make this,
make that one,
this one thing." You know, so there's a thing.
Yeah, Lisa remembers that.
Fun.
Yeah, it was
We should
fun.
do that.
We got to do that
It was a lot of
again.
fun.
We will do that again.
It's like cocktail roulette, except that you didn't put anything heinous in there.
I think I forgot to tell you this. Carradine, who goes by K Palace, who sometimes logs in on, I think, YouTube, gave me the best idea. She said she was watching a YouTube cooking show, or I think it was baking, whatever. But anyway, they had a 12-sided die and would roll it to see what they were going to bake. And then she was like, you could do that for cocktails. And I thought, yes, we could do that for cocktails. I love that idea.
You realize that not only do we have Well, we don't have a 12-sided die. We don't do gaming.
Well, I think we could probably acquire.
We could find one.
But...
We have, although we do actually have the Cosmic Wimp Out game in case somebody wants to like do a few bonk hits and play some games. I won't, but you feel free. What the hell do I care?
We do.
Yes, we do. We own Cosmic Wimp Out. I played it once and it was confusing.
Okay, I'm gonna make a drink. But yeah, how do you play that?
You roll. I think it's 5 dice. One of them is a specialty die that has different faces, and that tells you something, and the other one just score points, and you have to actually like accumulate points in certain orders, and if you go over, you wimp out. It's sort of like Price is Right rules. But I remember trying it and being like, it's a bit confusing, and I'm not sure I'm playing this right, so I got to do it again. But I owned it for years. It was like this big thing when we were high school years. So I bought one. I never really did anything. And a friend of, friend, air quotes, was just, oh, can I borrow the directions? I lost mine. And then he proceeded to lose mine. I'm like, you're an untrustworthy person. So these days,
scatterbrain.
Back in the day, it was a pain in the neck. Today, it's just like go to internet. Rules for Cosmic Wimp Out 4 seconds later, and there you have it.
Okay, I'm going to
or not wimp out.
Announce what I'm doing, and also look at my recipe again.
Please.
I'm calling this Spring Fling, and to make it, you start with 2 ounces rose petal gin, which I just put in here. I'm using Dorothy Parker rose petal gin. I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of the ume plum liqueur.
Fun stuff.
If you haven't picked this up, it is good stuff. A 1/4 ounce apricot liqueur.
Ooh,
I'm using Apri.
Working these stone fruit, eh?
3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice and 2 dashes cherry bitters if we have them.
If we have 2 dashes, we have the cherry bitters. They grow
anyway.
Low.
Okay, so I'm going to now add my 1/2 ounce.
Have you noticed with this liqueur, particularly if you take it straight, it has a distinct like prune note to it, and you think, well, they're plums. I mean, it might just do that.
It's really good.
It is not Pruneau. That's a different kind of a product, which is not actually made from plums.
It is delish.
It's fun stuff. Ume should be available at your well-stocked store, and you can always ask. Look, I have a picture of this. Can you get this?
It's definitely available online, but I know a lot of places you can't send liquor in the mail.
Yeah, true too.
That's when you have to run.
All these dry counties that
plum liqueur is so
left
good
in the United States.
Peter, we got it at Mid Valley.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely have it.
Proximate to you. I mean, not super proximate to you, but not far. You can do it. Cross the
my Apri.
Cross the big dig there, and you can find.
Was it made in the U.S.?
Oh,
I forget.
Apparently, I was.
I can't read that.
Apparently, I was timing something. Go away.
Can you read this, please?
I can. Just a minute. There we go.
Yeah.
I forget. This is made, first of all, 17% alcohol, so like 35 proof, pretty low. A pretty good thing for a liqueur. They are, in fact, noting to you, it's pronounced ume, which you did. This is designed in San Francisco and bottled by Plumichu in Detroit.
Oh, right.
It's from Detroit.
We did talk about that once. Yes. Okay. So now all I have to add is my cherry bitters. And when I picked up the bottle earlier, I was like, wow,
good grief.
Almost empty. So let's see. Because my other drink also has
bitter. Is that black cherry, bitter cherry, or just cherry?
Just cherry.
Cherry. We've had these for a while, obviously, because we're running it down. And I highly recommend those. They have a very concentrated bitter cherry flavor. So
thank you.
That
bottle is sticky.
Yeah, all of those liqueur bottles. No, it's not the worst of the lot. The worst of the lot is the orange that is made by.
Thank you.
Which is the one that just leaks like mad?
Oh, the citron.
The citron.
Yes.
Yeah, Patron Party.
Okay.
I mean, the bottle is very unique, but it's like you cannot pour that without a dripping, and you just have to
ice.
Pour a few drinks, and then just go to the sink, wash the thing off, put it in the sink drainer.
It's easier for you to get some
ice. It is.
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you. Excited about this one.
That'll do.
Haven't tried it yet, but I'm
you're still excited.
Nevertheless excited.
Yeah,
Kelly, happy birthday!
Hey, Kelly!
I just saw Kelly Pete logged on, and I believe it is your birthday.
That is very good to know.
Birthday.
I don't think that. Well, I will tell you this.
And I'll take a cocktail glass too.
That probably did come up on the socials, and I just haven't been on. There's a lot of very unsavory material going around. I just don't have time for that. And neither do you. But this is a type of social, which is a social gathering. Glad you're here.
We're savory.
Was I smart enough too?
I was smart enough too.
You were smart enough too.
Thank you.
Better. You were smart enough too. Because I wasn't here. I was
the one who ran the dishwasher.
I had to go in the office today, which actually proves to be fruitful. People don't use that term often enough, but it did bear fruit. The fruit was, well, boring things I don't want to talk about. But look, it worked.
You don't have to talk
things
about
worked.
It. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm trying to get that out of the way. All right.
Yes. Get out of the way.
With the twist.
She likes hers with a twist. So.
Spring fling. Let's see what we think. Yum. Oh my gosh.
Yum. Oh,
I love that.
What gin did you use in this?
The Dorothy Parker.
The Barca, yeah.
You could use any rose petal gin.
That's yummy.
It is delish. So 2 ounces of the rose petal gin, 1/2 ounce ume plum liqueur, 1/4 ounce apricot liqueur. I used Apri. 3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice, 2 dashes cherry bitters. It is yum-ola.
Tasty and refreshing. I like it. You got me thinking now. I hadn't really devised my second round, but I think I might want to make that my first round. Something straight up like so, because we have a special for you for the second round.
Oh, Peter says, I do enjoy Velveteen Lounge and Spider-Man music, courtesy of YouTube. Oh, nice.
Yeah, there was some great stuff. I think that if you take a look up on the usual sources, you'll find out who actually composed that. And there was like a well-known group of studio singers who sang it. And the little article made a big point that like, they don't make residuals. I'm like, no, of course not. They were paid for a session and they were done in 1967. That's it. But it's a really cool thing. But I think there might be some Elmer Bernstein in there.
Oh, let's celebrate, guys. We're looking up where to find that gin. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely find it when you're in the city because it's made in the city. So
yeah, this is New York Distilling.
Yes,
does this? Yeah, who were in Brooklyn, I believe. And we saw. I talked to the guy from them when we did Tales of the Cocktail, which is like 8 years ago now. But he was a cool dude, and I actually asked him some questions, and he had good answers. I mean, they're making really great product. They have an excellent bourbon and rye. The rye is, I think, 100 proof, so they're serious. And they're doing the Dorothy Parker gin, the Dorothy Parker specialty gin. I think they have yet another gin that they're doing.
Yeah, there's a Dorothy Parker that's just a regular gin.
Regular gin?
Too. Yeah.
And you think, well, that's what you want to have your martini with because she's the one who tells you how many martinis to have.
What? I didn't think you were going to make another drink.
Oh, well, what do we have?
Well, this is what you didn't mention one, so.
Oh, that's fine. You were asking about that, and I was like, and what did I come up with anyway? Well, I came up with I was going to use this stuff, but then there was were you going to do this for another drink, or are you just going to do this? What am I doing?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to make this gin and tonic I was going to make?
I'm thinking.
No.
Maybe, but I'm really eyeing yours over there.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'll add it later.
I just have to come up with something that works here. That's good.
Have one of these.
I was wondering
That's
about.
really good.
Let me think here. What do we think here? Yeah, I'll think.
Hi, Nina. Good to see you.
Hey, Nate. Awesome.
And hi, Roberta. Good to see you too. Yay.
Let's see, Peter. Oh, Sid Dale. Sid Dale does some really great stuff.
What's your favorite tonic? So,
let me look that up.
I really
immediately.
I like Betty Buzz. Tonight I'm using Q tonic because it was on sale. I like the Betty Buzz. I like the Fever Tree elderflower. That's yum. Tonight I'm using Q tonic. I like a good one like that. Gin, yes, Lisa. Gin does seem like a springtime liqueur. I agree. Peter's saying, I say break out the bubbles. Damn it. I wish we had some.
I certainly do.
I know. We will be in New Hampshire this weekend, the land of no sales tax.
You know,
and
which is wonderful.
Which is good times when you're liquor shopping.
Yeah, it's great when you're liquor shopping. And you're saying, wow, how does this state actually make money? Well, try to register your car. Oh my. That's fees, but no sales tax.
Let's celebrate. Which one of you has a birthday tomorrow?
Hey, oh yeah. Who do we have?
So many birthdays. I love
Peter,
it.
Peter?
I love it.
Peter, Phil, one of you. Just asking. Bubbly sounds awesome. I'm in. I do not have a birthday today, tomorrow, and yours, unfortunately, has passed for the time being. We do get a half birthday at my birthday, which is going to be coming up in no time. Not much time, anyway.
We're literally like 6 months apart to the day.
So let's see here. I was asking, Peter was talking about Sid
Peter's
Dale.
birthday. Happy birthday, Peter.
I've been listening to Medeski, Martin, and Wood, whom many of you know, and they're pretty cool.
We got Kelly here, whose birthday's today, and Peter's birthday's tomorrow. I love it. Hi, Bill. Good to see you. Yay.
Here we go.
Florida has really expensive car registration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hear New Hampshire does too.
No, but does Florida have sales tax? They got sales tax and hyped up registration and hyped up fees for what else am I thinking that they can get you at? Your property taxes, all that kind of stuff. Then you start thinking, wow, that's kind of triple dipping. But I know that a lot of states that have lower or no sales tax, it's like then you try to do something with your car or your house, and it's like, oh my Lordy. And yeah, you're sucked in the jaw because that's where they're making the money. It's always somewhere.
Mere sprig of a lad. I'll be 57. I love it.
Sprig.
Happy birthday.
Here's Sprig.
Hi, Laura. Good to see you.
Hey, Laura. Awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pisces, but right on the cusp.
Florida is more expensive than NJ. Wow, no, that's saying something. Well, it does have its Gold Coast and its other Gold Coast, and it's golden interior. So I guess that's the whole thing. We're
about to have another car to register in New York.
We are inheriting a car.
We are inheriting
as a matter of fact. So
we'll have two cars for the first time in ages.
Wait a minute.
Oh, hi, Mike. Good to see you. Oh, the Glenlivet. Nice. I can't argue with that.
I think it's 7 years. We had two cars for a brief period when we had the prior car. And while it was still running and registered, I ran that back and forth to the train station. And then we were thinking what to do with the car. So we just kind of stowed it for a while and then decided we need to sell this because we weren't going to be able to give it when it needed, which was a new catalytic. Now, obviously, you could do that. I kind of thought would have been pretty cool to have like a car that's your daily commuter and a car that's your long distance driver, saves wear and tear on one of these babies.
This is so good. You sure you don't? I wasn't going to have another one of these, but dang, it's good.
It is good.
Oh, like Delaware, no sales tax, but food, utilities, booze are 30 to 50% more.
Than you pay in New Jersey.
Okay, that's interesting because I feel like liquor is cheaper in New Hampshire than we pay. So it's no sales tax and either cheaper or on par. So
because
Paul needs a drink. Yes, he does, Lisa.
What's in my hand? Empty glass. Let's work on it. I'm going to take the vodka.
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
Did you bring it?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, but luckily it is close. I was thinking I'm not going to use that, and then I thought I am going to use that. I very rarely use.
We very rarely use vodka
as a base. It's just not my go-to. I don't do vodka martinis.
And the reason we have Tito's is because every year I have to buy it at Christmas because it has a different sweater.
It's a Christmas sweater. So we got
I'm not loyal to Tito's.
But I think I just cracked this like last week.
Yeah, it's like brand
for 3 months.
Because I took the sweater off of it. I was like, okay, thanks, bye.
There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try something and see if this does what I think it does. We have orange liqueur to your right.
Did you bring it? If you didn't bring it, we don't.
Maybe I'll use the apricot.
Okay. Wait.
I want to try that.
You got to tell me what you're doing so I can write it down.
I'm not dumbing up a Cosmo, but I'm doing different ingredients to see if I can make this
usually
even better.
The cheapest. New Jersey is usually the cheapest. Yeah, I can see that from the amount of liquor shopping I've done in New Jersey. Pennsylvania being the highest. Yeah, we went to a great store in Milford, Pennsylvania. That store was amazing,
unusually,
but it was kind of expensive.
They were a little high, although they very good selection, and I thought that some of the stuff was just on par.
At least it falls for packaging too. Like, just give me the sweater. You can keep the vodka.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it sits there until I decide I need to do a vodka drink. Well, what drink do you need to do in vodka unless somebody wants a vodka martini, which we will do for you.
Cosmo.
That's what I'm making up. I'm going to.
Oh, you're making a Cosmo.
Making a Cosmo. It's people remember back.
Well, this isn't really a Cosmo because you just used apricot.
I'm varying it up. Whatever. I'm using what I have on hand.
I'm excited to try it though.
It should be good. Instead of the crayon, I'm using pomegranate juice.
So it's really not a Cosmo.
And I'm thinking, well, it's a Cosmo variation. The Cosmo variations.
Oh yeah, state store like New Hampshire. They have the state stores.
Yeah, the thing about the state stores in Pennsylvania is, in my opinion, they're not very good. They just don't have the selection, and the prices were not awesome. And I was like, all right, geez. You go to New Hampshire, the selection is actually quite good. They will order things for you, and for all of your like regular well liquors, and I don't mean bottom shelf, I mean middle shelf. You know, bottled Jim Beam, excellent pricing, and they frequently have discounts. Huge wine selection.
They have sales,
bitters, mixers. They have all these things, and no sales tax. So
wait until you see our new Cosmo recipe. I can't wait to see your new Cosmo recipe. Oh, Total Wine and Plantation, Florida has every brand of rum ever made. I love it.
Hello.
Cosmo equals red drink. Yep. This is pretty red. Pretty red.
This is a different palm than I used last time, so it's a lot more red than. And I think I will actually take those cherry bitters and see if I can punch them up.
Right. They're incredibly sticky. So, you know, I'm calling it the Emerald City cocktail. Ooh, is it green? I'm intrigued.
This thing is leaky. Dang. One of these things is, and I think I got that. I think I got it. Ah,
this is good, but it disappeared very quickly. And I'm afraid to make another one.
It will disappear as quickly.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
And then I'll get hammered.
Yep. Today you're thinking, and the problem with that is
the Jello-Politan 2 weeks ago. I love that.
Boom.
Jello-Politan. Have you seen? I may have to send you in the other room to grab this book. There's a book called Merry Kitschmas. And it has a Jello drink. I should just have him go grab it, and we can show you the picture.
Okay, so here we go.
One of the first states I saw absinthe for sale. Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of that store in Milford. It was great. It was expensive, but it was great.
I can find it.
Hi, Errol. Good to see you,
Errol. All right, I'm going to add a couple dashes of these cherry bitters. We actually do have cran bitters too.
Yeah, this is just
I could have done that, and that would definitely have punched up the red. But I really wanted to work the cherry angle in this.
As you can see, I didn't like my drink at all.
I like that better than the Cosmo.
Okay, let's see.
And it's basically the same thing. It's got the same.
Are you going in the other room?
Same style of ingredients. I could.
I wanted you to go grab that Merry Kitschmas book.
Okay, I can do that.
Oh, that's really good.
See, I was thinking to myself, well, let's try that out. What the heck?
It's not Kitschmas time, but we'll grab the book.
We will do that. I'll take another sip of this baby right here. Baby.
I took 2 sips. I let him out of the corner. Oh, Lisa. Oh, man. All right. Can I hand you this as long as you're off camera? Dang, that was good. That's good, too. All right. But you need to give me the recipe because I have not added it to the cocktail sheet yet. And now we'll make an Orange Julius.
2 ounces of vodka base.
Do other people here remember Orange Julius? Which apparently is still around, which I didn't know because I haven't seen an Orange Julius since I was about 14, but I guess you can still get it. I'm very excited to try this recipe. Oh, okay. So Merry Kitschmas. Gotta find this drink. The Jello-Politan just made me think of this.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Peter remembers Orange Julius. Okay. It's still a thing, I guess. Maybe it's one of those mall things I never see because I never go to the food court. I like to make the whiskey balls from Joy of Cooking for Kitschmas. I like to make. I sometimes make bourbon balls. So yeah, where's this?
Joy of Cooking. That's interesting enough. In all of our collecting of cookbooks and those pamphlet-sized cookbooks, and she has a huge selection.
Oh
of
my
those.
Gosh, let's celebrate! I love that idea. Let's celebrate TBSing. Wouldn't it be fun with all the YouTube channels, friends? We have to create a YouTube cocktail book.
There you go.
Multiple contributors and illustrations. Okay, this is the Kitschmas Jigglepolitan. You made me think of it with the Jello-politan. The Kitschmas Jigglepolitan.
Which I believe contains a little bit of cranberry mold.
Yes.
Floating on top.
Yes.
Which is very reminiscent of Let's Celebrate with
Mall Rats Thrive on Orange Julius.
Drinks.
Okay, that makes sense to me because I very rarely go to the mall. And when I do, I don't go to the food court. But nothing against the food court. I like me some junk food as much as anyone.
Those little pretzels from who was?
Oh my God!
Who were those?
All right, I need another drink before we tell this story.
Okay, well there we go. I'll talk about Orange Julius because I was reminded.
Let's make an Orange Julius.
That like the first time I really heard about it was in. You want to date yourself? I think some folks here can actually speak to this. Dynamite magazine, probably around 1975, was talking about the phenomenon appearing at your local mall, and they would just talk about but they had a recipe to how to make it at home, and I think theirs was just orange juice and vanilla ice cream. I'm like, well, that's good,
which
but
sounds
it's not
good, but it's not an orange.
You're not going to mainline that all day, and
okay,
and you really shouldn't.
So, I'm making two. I think this is clean, right? Yes.
Should be.
Yes.
Does it feel sticky inside? In which case,
no. I remember that magazine. Me too. I think, do we have an issue or two downstairs?
We have a couple of them. I used to have a large selection and they disappeared because, at the time I remember collecting them because every month you'd get that little, magazine of Scholastic Book Club and you would get your Dynamite, right?
Lisa says I was going to work there at Orange Julius, but I just couldn't wear that hat they wore. I don't remember. Now I got to Google the hat. Okay.
You got to take a look at that.
I need some orange juice.
Yeah.
Which is right in the fridge behind you. And I need, I believe, 2 cups because we're making 2.
So this is actually
2. Okay. Oh, I should have brought over the Pyrex.
You need both of these. Oh, son of a bitch. The things I try to do in very, very cramped corners.
Yes. Okay. So while he deals, I'll let him bring over the Pyrex. We buy these little things of orange juice because we don't drink orange juice fast enough to use up a big carton. Oh, Peter says my sister would have had a subscription to Dynamite. I loved it. Were you going to grab the Pyrex?
Huh? What Pyrex?
The measuring cup.
Oh, for what?
To measure.
What are you measuring?
Cups.
Of this?
Yes.
That's 8 ounces.
Oh, okay. Then
you pour 2 and you're done.
What are you measuring?
What are you measuring? I missed that part.
Concrete.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
At least you got Dynamite. When you were that age, you got Dynamite, and then when you were sort of junior high school age, you got Bananas. You remember Bananas?
I do. I remember that too.
Peter, who is watching here, actually we have 2 Peters watching, but Peter Ora actually might remember.
We might have more Peters
Bananas
watching.
Magazine, and he might remember that one of their cartoonists was a guy named John Holmstrom. You know what else he did?
Can you break into these cartons of orange juice?
They're really not designed to break in.
I don't want to wreck my nails.
You're really supposed to use this.
There, I said it.
Oh, no, please. For what they cost, you're really supposed to use this funny little straw on the side, which we're not going to.
Yeah, they are kind of juice boxes, but
they're juice boxes. In fact, if I could punch that and pour, but you really can't. I might just go in the back way.
First cocktail's already fogged your brain.
Okay, very, very carefully.
I like to think now.
You will be able to take care of that.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Just go in the back side of this thing, and you're able to take care of it.
Woo.
There you go.
Getting spicy in here. Okay.
Woohoo!
That is a lot of OJ.
Not that kind of show.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, jeez. That's it for drinks in the evening. I'll be like full up on fluid going.
That is a lot of OJ.
A lot of acid.
All right. John Holstrom also did Punk magazine.
And the covers of, I think, the
Okay.
What is it?
Going back.
He did like a lot of cover cartoonage for the Ramones, which is the thing.
We need
so there you go. But yes, he did Punk magazine.
3 tablespoons. Our ice isn't cracked. Do you think that's a problem?
Some of it's pretty cracked. How did you cracked ice?
3 tablespoons of powdered milk.
I used some of that this morning. I was eating breakfast on the train. I reconstituted the milk. It worked reasonably well, but I could do better.
3 tablespoons.
And it was better than trying to keep milk cold while I rode.
It's not easy to find powdered milk in the supermarket.
No, there was a period where like it really was off the shelf entirely, and I thought, "What's going on? No powdered milk."
1 tablespoon corn syrup, which is completely
seized,
fused shut from the sugar.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Maybe I need to put this over here, folks. Carefully. Wow.
I'm telling you,
that's serious.
All right.
Now I'm sticky again.
1. This is to make 2, by the way.
I think LCTV can actually speak to the idea of like every single bottle you pick up is stickier than the last. You know, whether it's cooking things or booze bottles. You know, like geez, this liqueur. It's like liqueurs are notorious. The liqueurs like Marnier, which we adore, of course, is corked. And after a while, the sugary stuff starts like seizing up in that cork. And we've had the cork break. And I'm like, why are you guys still using that cork? Jeez, put a cap on it, will you?
Okay.
Put a cap on its head.
I'm just waiting for the corn syrup to leave the tablespoon. My sister had a subscription to Bananas as well. She will never admit to having a crush on Willie Ames. Willie Ames went to my high school.
Check that stuff out. Hello.
Not while he was there before me, but Willie Ames went to my high school. Also Ted McGinley.
Dynamite Magazine, I recall, was notorious for having 3D posters, and they would give you a pair of the specs. They were the red-green specs. It's not the good 3D, but it was a cheap magazine.
Trying to squeeze out the caramel for the salted caramel martini was a killer. I was like, be here all day waiting for this to drip off.
You know, I'm really getting the vision of you like they're like trying and you know, some like, you know, comments from the peanut gallery over there, like, oh man. But yeah, like these. We've done that with many a thing, and sometimes you pull out a liquor bottle and it's like, oh wow, the flavor is going off.
It's fascinating that like it's dripping and then it's kind of like going back up like a yo-yo. Anyway,
Bill over here works for American Sugar Refiners, ASR.
Oh my gosh,
sticky stuff is my life.
I love it.
Which is Domino.
I love that. Okay,
it's interesting. East Coast Domino dominates. Domino.
Okay, 1 tablespoon sugar, which.
And West Coast, I believe it is
CNH.
CNH, pure cane sugar.
Okay, so
from Hawaii.
Mercifully,
grown in the
measured
sun.
this out before, but a tablespoon sugar.
Yes, you want to pre-measure,
and then
which I'm sure our friend Smelzy know very well.
Half teaspoon vanilla.
Also, our friends from Pepper Tree.
We have like huge amounts of vanilla because we buy it whenever we go to Mexico because pure vanilla is really expensive.
It's hella, but in Mexico, it's very reasonable.
Very cheap.
I think that bottle was something like the price
probably
tag,
like $7 or something.
Price tag might still be on here, although it might have fallen off because it's been a while since we've been there. But this is totally fine now. This is good.
We really. I saw it. I saw your email. Okay, good. I'll go watch it.
There we go. Oh yeah, 56.89 pesos. So
at the time, that was probably about $6.
And interestingly, that has a dollar sign because it's really a peso sign.
Okay.
That's what the dollar sign is.
I need ice.
At the time, that was something like $9 at most. I think it was about $7.
CNH is an ASR brand. Okay.
Yeah. It's all.
Yeah. I love it. I just remember the commercials.
Hey, wait a minute, Bill. If you guys have the East Coast and the West Coast, who else is making sugar? Sounds like a monopoly. What do you need?
I need ice. 3/4 of a cup cracked ice.
All right.
The recipe calls for.
You probably do some busted up cubes and you'll be in good shape.
Right. And then we need to blend the crap out of this.
Crap out.
I'll put it in.
What the hell? I'm just going to give you what I can from the bottom. The stuff at the bottom is usually where all the beat up cube has settled. I will do that for things like Mai Tais. Although
There's the largest sugar refiner in the world. I didn't know that. Okay, I think that's enough.
Okay, if you feel good, then I feel good.
Get ready. Blending time.
Blendor.
Ready?
It is actually a blendor.
There we go.
Now you're rocking.
Waiting for that ice to break up.
I don't hear you going pocket to pocket. You're probably in good shape.
Think?
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Okay. Now I need 2 glasses.
What style?
Get a Manhattan and some red wine. But now, want another cocktail of some sort. That's how I feel. That's how I feel right now.
Well, you're going to get a drink. Which glasses would you like?
I'll use
these. They are here.
these.
The glass that is in your left hand, that's a pretty good thing to use, or the one that is directly in your bar top.
I'll use these.
It's too bad you can't see this entire bar, but we have to show us.
Okay. Oh, Gettysburg, ma'am. Hi.
So,
good to see you.
Ma'am. So Bill is asking, is there a difference between blend and liquefy? Not on this baby. This one is off,
It's made a lot.
low, and high. That's all you got. But this is probably an early 60s blendor. Might be a 50s blendor.
I guess they think you're using tall glasses because it's made a lot.
So this is the Orange Julius substitute. We're going to give it a whirl.
Straw.
Yeah, I'll take a straw.
I'm going to take a straw.
Yeah. What the heck?
Grab one.
Grab her.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's exactly what you were imagining.
Yeah, it is.
You take a creamsicle,
Man,
throw it in your glass, wait till it melts.
Good.
That's exactly what you got.
Ooh, big fan of that. Okay. Orange Julius. I'll read it off again. So to make an Orange Julius at home, this makes 2.
All you do is
combine 2 cups orange juice, 3 tablespoons powdered milk, 1 tablespoon corn syrup, 1 tablespoon sugar.
I'm not sure why you need 2 sugars in there, but
half teaspoon vanilla, 3/4 of a cup cracked ice. Mix all ingredients in blender. Serve in frosty cold glasses.
Well, they were not frosty cold, but they're doing just fine. Thank you. Happy with that. And as a matter of fact, for my next hat trick, I was
throw some rum in there. Guess what? Let's celebrate. We're right there with you.
Interesting you should say that, Phil. So let's see. What I was thinking with this
and a
baby.
quart vodka. Yeah, exactly.
Liter size, baby.
Like Sandra Lee. Anyone ever seen Sandra Lee make a drink? She's like, 1 shot of vodka. Glug, 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 glug.
I mean, that's about 3 shots of vodka, Aunt Sandy, but what the heck do I know? What I know is you poured way too much. I'll take that rum.
Okay.
Gonna be double fisting for a second.
I might take that rum too.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is good, and it's a. Do you have any more of those little towelettes things? The bar is sticky. I'll actually take the spray too. Thank you.
I forgot to get your spray.
Screw the mocktail.
Screw the mocktail.
I know. I wanted to try it to see, like, it was a blast from the past.
You have to have one of these.
And now I'm ready to add booze to it.
We made a mocktail for our patrons recently that I like so much. I keep making it.
Yes.
And the base is an Earl Grey tea. We actually have a local tea that we've been buying that's calling itself Russian tea. It's Earl Grey. It's just Earl Grey. And it works just great. And and if you are a patron, you got it. And if you're not a patron and want to be a patron, just go to the bottom of the screen and check out that link. Bang at Velveteen Lounge on Patreon. And there are several levels starting at $5
Gettysburg Ma'am says, I love Sandra Lee's tablescape ideas. My mother-in-law loved those too. When I first mentioned Sandra Lee to her, and she left us in 2013.
Correct.
But I'll take a little. Why not?
Give you a shout worth.
She when I said something about Sandra Lee, she's like, "Oh, the tablescapes."
The tablescapes. By the way, I'm using old.
We're sore people. Oh my gosh, let's celebrate! Seriously. I can't wait either.
Seriously,
we're gonna do this. I'm very excited.
Telling you guys. This is old port rum, which is actually from India, which is in fact the source of sugarcane originally. And India has probably been distilling rum for about 2,000 years. The thing is, the records on that are not really great, but you know that they're making booze. Let's be real.
William Moffat is saying, my latest rum from Total Wine was Hamilton 86.
86.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
100% Guyanese Demerara with no added sugar. Nice.
We're very fond of Dem rum. And of course, there are a couple of notorious brands.
And the Hamilton
which are well
rums.
worth the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Old rum. Yep.
It's good. I would like a shorter straw.
Yeah, me too. All right, hold on.
I mean, we have these tall ones, which are great for tall glasses. And I've actually had trouble on the show with a tall straw that I managed to hook, and off goes the drink all over the place. And this one would be a sticky mess. So I'm not going to do. So what are we using for straws? Of course, I'm going to use the Bombilla. We actually got these from one of my coworkers who is, in fact, Argentine. No longer one of my coworkers, but he actually was talking about drinks and whatnot, and I was talking about Bombilla, and he said, "I'll get you a set of these." So these are from Argentina, and they're exactly what you would use to drink. Anybody? What do you normally use this interesting looking little metal straw for, which has a little filter at the bottom? So there we go. That's the question for the hour. The question for the next 5 minutes, anyway. I'm asking people, what do you use Bombilla for normally? You normally don't know. Oh, yeah, that's a good use of that, as a matter of fact. There's another one that's even more obvious. And if you know that, mate. Thank you, Bill. That's exactly right. And actually, Errol, I don't know if you were thinking of that or if you were thinking of matcha. Matcha you could use, sure. You could definitely use it just as a tea straw. The reason that you would use it in mate is because it's usually used, infuse the leaves. So you want to filter those. And years ago, worked at a record store, had a customer from Brazil.
Orange Julius with rum is good.
Who insisted that he had the best way to pack records. So he would send us a shipping box. It was this enormous affair with a lot of padding around it. I'm like, it's just costing you a fortune in Cruzeros to get this here, but it's your deal, dude. Probably a sugar baron. Anyway, we would pack up his records. One day the box comes in. We already have his order ready to go. I open the box. There's a little box of mate tea, and he says, a little something for you. I was like, oh, wow.
Aww,
so I used that for a while. Sweet. It was kind of fun. I'd really not been exposed to mate before, and it's a huge thing. It is a mild stimulant. It has I think a minor amount of caffeine, and you can really sip a lot of that. And there is a standard container that is used to sip mate, which I believe is a gourd, which is or frequently known as a calabash. Huh. So now you're wondering where Mrs. Calabash came from? There you go.
Lots of ASR sugar comes from Brazil. Yeah.
Brazil makes sense. Yeah. Brazil makes a huge amount of sugar. And during the fuel crisis in the 1970s, which shocked everybody, in the Western world, Brazil was thinking, we are seriously dependent on external petroleum, and we do not make petroleum. But what do we make?
It is very relaxing. We have those gourds.
Oh, there we go. There we go. The calabash. So what did Brazil, the government was like, what do we make? A lot of sugar. What can you turn sugar into? Ethanol.
Yep.
And a lot of cars in Brazil will run on either straight up ethanol or gasoline. Take your pick. And I think if you can just grow your gasoline, you don't have to be pumping the ancient material out of the ground. So that's an idea. It's good to think of alternatives.
Speaking of blasts from the past, which an Orange Julius is for me, we were watching this show on Netflix about Bernie Madoff.
Bernie.
Who made off with everyone's money.
He sure did.
And
not anymore, but
they were showing all these documentary footage from the 70s with people lining up for gas. And I'm like, I kind of remember my parents not being able to get gas except for on alternate days.
I have distinct memories of my mother running out of gas twice.
And, I don't think my parents ran out of gas,
and it was just because she didn't time it right, and she was wrangling two very young kids. I'm not going to blame anything, but at the one time it was very low, and she was driving past what at the time was still the Navy base, and you take a look to your right, and there are huge stacks of 40-gallon drums. which are full of petroleum. And what do you know? There was a big like fuel truck over there.
Mm-hmm.
So she took a chance and like, walked over to the guy in the fuel truck and said, "Can you help me, please?" And he gave her a couple of gallons of gas again.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, I don't know if she slipped him some bucks, how the hell that worked, but we got home because somebody took pity, because nobody was really thinking about the fact that we were very dependent on one source of petroleum. And that's not a good thing for any area to be.
Who knew when we logged on to the springtime broadcast, we'd be talking about
gas prices
and gas prices.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil says, I have so much sugar. I donated so much to the local food banks that they eventually turned me away. Oh my gosh.
They're like, "Bill, we love you, but..."
I had 2 different license plates to get gas on odd and even days during gas rationing. Oh, hi, Jean. Jean says hi from Cape Cod. Good to see you.
Hello,
Yay.
Would you like to pass me ceviche?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Second commercial plug of the day. I think
Bill. I don't have any ceviche. Oh, wait.
I think Bill is a recent recipient of
will be
the album From the Clams, featuring this one on the cover. Hello.
I'm trying to do the same face.
I'm trying to hold it so that it actually you can see it, because I'm getting a lot of glare here. Ceviche is available on LP. All of you folks who are demanding it, it is available. We've got it, and ours is the only one that's got the hype sticker.
I'm trying to give the same.
Here we go.
I'm trying to give the same face.
I think this is about right. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. This version of ceviche is different from the CD. It actually contains, yeah, you guessed it, that's a hype sticker, Glendora's theme.
Yes, posted on Monday.
Hello, Bombo.
I'm going to drop the link for everyone who hasn't had a chance to pick it up.
Interesting enough, we have not actually cracked our copy, because we have this as computer files, and we do have a CD on this, and it was just demand caused Dano to find a pressing plant, and he's very happy with this. We heard it at his place on his system. He's running a pair of Dahlquist DQ10s. Really slick sound. This is amazing. This is very great. And I was very happy with it. And for something that was just like a very low-key pressing plant, I'm like, these days, that's incredible. Because usually, I mean, we made our record, and the 45, and it was like, every step of the way is an extra charge. It's worth it. It looks fabulous. People who had made records were commenting to us, "How did you do all of this? This looks so great." And I think it sounds awesome.
We paid for all of it.
We paid for all of it.
We paid for the nose.
It was our Kickstarter campaign. Was it Kickstarter we used, or
Indiegogo?
Go. Sorry.
Is that even still a thing?
I don't even know. I can't tell you. We used Indiegogo, and the record is paid for a long time, because a lot of subscribers were super happy to get a record, and we did it, and it's done. And we still have a lot of those too. Let us know. These are available in our store. Would you like to drop the link?
I did.
There we go. Big Cartel. Do you want ceviche? It will cost you. Just go there and go.
The 1970s, a rotten and magical time. You're not wrong, Peter.
Peter, you remember when the future was going to be so bleak because like it was going to get hotter and hotter, and it was going to turn to Soylent Green? I think we've arrived. So here we go. If you could put ceviche to the side, that'd be great. And anyone who wants ceviche,
no comment about Soylent Green.
Yeah, no comment. Yeah. Well, I'll comment about that. I remember when the future was going to be terrible, and it looked kind of fun. Remember a show on TV called Arc 2? The future was like exactly Soylent Green, and there was this Brubaker box cruising around, and 4 scientists and an ape were actually going to like save things. That was kind of fun. I remember it was a Filmation thing, as I recall. This is really good. Orange Julius with a shot of rum is an awful lot
getting the job done.
Like going to Disney, getting a Dole Whip, and throwing in a shot of rum.
We're on to an orange bullet rye Manhattan. Oh, yum.
Hello.
I love a Manhattan.
Two at the most.
In stereo.
As if.
Dr. Bloop.
Oh, Bill knows this.
Dr. Bloop.
It was a cheesy show, but it had unique features. Like they were cruising around in this vehicle. And the vehicle, as I found out much later, is something called a Brubaker box. What the hell is that? Custom car kit that you build on a VW chassis. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, much smaller than you think in real life, but it looked like this sort of RV.
Harold, we quote Idiocracy pretty much every day.
10 times a day. Yeah.
It's got electrolytes.
What the hell does it even mean?
It's got electrolytes. Brondo.
Well, I think that you shouldn't be watering your plants with Brondo. You should be watering with water. Water? You mean like from the toilet?
From the toilet? Yep.
So eventually they do water it from the toilet. And, honestly, it
Was
works.
that a Saturday afternoon show?
I believe so. I think it was syndicated, but I seem to recall seeing it on Saturdays. So I think you're onto something there. And I'd really have to research, where the broadcast history was. But it was tacky. But it was fun. And they had great guest stars. The one with Jim Backus was especially memorable.
Tacky.
Especially memorable because he was an industrialist who was revived from cryogenic suspension. It was hilarious. Kind of great.
It's so funny when people say tacky. What did I see? I saw something referred to as tacky yesterday. And I just thought, see, for me, tacky is in the plus column.
Well, yeah.
Well,
so think about it. What's wrong with that?
It was tacky. I'm like, yeah, and that's what made it great. I can't remember what it was now.
Well, you'll think of it. I'm thinking about three things right now. One is I'm looking at my shirt and saying look at my shirt and saying that like this swirl really reminds me of the actual shape of the country Mexico, which we adore because we've been there a number of times. That's a rando thing, but I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. Rando. And of course, we use tequila on the show with regularity.
I take tacky as a compliment. Exactly.
Seriously. Tacky? What tacky? You know what was tacky? Tacky was Trader Vic's at the Plaza Hotel, which got taken out around 1990 because the landlord at the time decided that, he said his wife thought it was tacky, so he got rid of it. And I tell you, that is like one of the biggest crimes that you cannot get Trader Vic's in New York City anymore. They were there for decades.
Debbie Bloop from Lost in Space.
An alien, air quotes. Was
right, we need a little more of
that on the black and white episodes or on the later ones, the color episodes?
A little more Old Port.
I'm good.
The flavor changed once we.
Oh, maybe I'm not good. Yeah, I'll take a splash. I'm thinking that because I was just reading something about one of the Irwin Allen shows, and the notation was that Lost in Space first season was a lot like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea first season. They had much more serious episodes. They were much more contemporary. And then when they went color, it all went to hell. And it makes me think of...
It all went to hell.
Well, it went into monsters and supernatural stuff and ridiculous crap. But like in first season, Voyage to the Bottom sounds to me an awful lot like Man from U.N.C.L.E. They had all these themes about spies and Cold War stuff. It's like, wow, that sounds very watchable. And first season Lost in Space was like that. They had much more serious content. And then it turned into like Monster of the Week. And they were really, really tacky monsters, like just really, really crap stuff.
Tacky Monsters. That's a good band name.
And at the exact period of time that they went to color, what arrived on the television set, something called Star Trek, which had a much higher aesthetic for sci-fi. So it's like, yeah, they started, Lost in Space started looking a little tacky. So
I love Lost in Space.
I love it too. Watch it all the time.
Tacky is good.
Well, you don't mind tacky,
I not only don't mind tacky, I'm with Let's Celebrate.
I
take it as a compliment.
Well, seriously, that's the thing. But I'm talking about different kinds of tacky. And the fact is, people who appreciate the tacky you're talking about, the other thing about that is it's what Gene Shepard would call day people versus night people. And night people get it.
At the Movies on PBS in the 1980s.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
That wasn't Siskel and Ebert, right? If it was, I do. Otherwise, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, Lost in Space had oversized broccoli for landscapes.
Good.
Oh, hi, Joe. Good to see you.
Hey, Joe. So good to see you.
Joe's relishing a whiskey and getting ready to head back to Michigan for the winter base.
Oh,
we talked about the Cramps, and I have a new band that I discovered last week. They were called Morphine from the 90s.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Three-piece group that consisted of a drummer, sax player, and a two-string bass player with a slide. It's hauntingly rock and roll.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay. I will take recommendations all day long.
Yes, I'm all about that. Dr. Smith was irritating. Flick lives.
As Bill says, oh, the pain. Oh, the pain. we note that the robot on Lost in Space, some people call Robbie. He was not Robbie. His actual name was Robot. Yes. I know that's not very imaginative. Robbie the robot from Forbidden Planet,
yeah. Yep.
was used extensively subsequently because it was an expensive prop. So you see him turn up on Twilight Zone like 3 times. They also used that flying saucer from Forbidden Planet a lot. But you know, the show was on a budget. They had to do something.
I have to say,
yes,
Robbie is my favorite part of Lost in Space.
Forbidden
Planet. Whatever we're talking about.
Well,
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet is supposed to be this amazing thing, and ultimately, it's
preposterous pachyderm.
Ultimately, it's like this very pretentious sci-fi thing. I will say it's the first movie out there that had a synthesized soundtrack.
Julie remembers Morphine. The band Morphine.
More, yeah, she does not remember.
I need to clarify that. Julie remembers the band Morphine.
That she says.
My local public radio station played them. I love it. Fun. Really great and unique. Okay. Paul seems to know.
Morphine. I've heard the name. I can't say that I was very familiar with their content, but it's reminded me a lot of other bands in that era. I was name checking Medeski, Martin, Wood. They have a totally different sound, but it was a small combo playing unique music. Reminds me a lot of John Zorn music from that period, and I saw his combos many times. Has still played the most terrifying sound I've ever heard on stage, which was just that really threw me for a loop. But I was prepared. Kristallnacht.
Okay, what was terrifying? I mean, besides the theme.
You were warned that there was extremely loud, high frequency noises, and I brought earplugs, so I was good. But I was like, wow, that would be really bad news if you didn't have them, you know. But
I mean, obviously it sounds horrifying, but yeah.
But yes, and the fact is that I have been wearing earplugs at concerts since about 1985, and that's why I can still hear. So I recommend it for loud shows. Almost any show is absolutely the case. The Saticons.
Oh, hello, Michael. Good to see you. I'm going to screenshot your link so that I can look at this.
Check that sucker out there.
Thank you. Lost in Space episode 42, Wreck of the Robot. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I watched this all the time as a kid. I watched all the space shows. Really? And it didn't matter whether they were high produced or whether they were like Doctor Who. I mean, we watched all of them. Although I don't think we got Doctor Who, so I didn't get that.
Doctor Who.
That, of course, is the Time Lords. That's something else. But yeah.
Okay, no, At the Movies was a show with a movie 1930s with a newsletter
short and a cartoon.
Oh,
wow. That sounds cool.
I love that. I do remember things like that, Peter. I don't remember that particular one, but I love when they, like, TCM will do that sometimes. Like, they'll have a short before, and I love that so much.
Yeah, it's fun. They put the parts back in.
And I love that I'm dating myself. Some of the DVDs we have the cartoons that ran with the film originally. Love that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like Angela Cartwright. Yeah. I like Angela Cartwright too.
Bill, I believe that to be something of an understatement.
Joe loves Forbidden Planet. No, we struck a nerve.
So Bibi and Louis Barron actually did the soundtrack to that, and they were using the first synthesizer available, which was the RCA music synthesizer. This is like contrived music, and it's really cool. They have great sound effects on this thing.
Empress makes an elderflower and rose gin, and I think we saw that at Mid Valley.
My thoughts is we saw it and didn't buy it. That's my thoughts.
Well, because of money, not because of lack of interest. Yeah,
I'd buy a lot of stuff that I don't have to check it out.
I would definitely pick that up.
Yeah, but definitely.
It's a bit heavy. Oh, hi, Eric.
There we go.
It's a bit heavy on the elderflower. Okay,
fair enough.
All right.
It's good to get a review.
But I'm glad you chimed in, Eric. Yeah, okay.
And we have a recommendation from Morphine Song. Thank you. We like that. Remember, you can drop anything in here that's relevant to what we're talking about. We appreciate that. Oh. We don't know everything, but we can tell you about a few things.
Julie says, I love Doctor Who now, but I didn't understand the story arc structure when they showed them on PBS. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I just love the fact that the TARDIS in fact, is what time and relative dimensions and space. Amazing. I can just whip that out like that. And when you walk into this phone box, English phone box, suddenly it's really huge inside because, well, it's sort of it's relative dimensions. It's like this spaceship that has a lot of room. Well, I'd like that aspect in life, actually.
Errol says, I like the original Star Trek episode with the 1920s gangster, a piece of the action. Funny when Spock says, I'd advise you to keep dialing.
That's great. Who played the gangster? Anybody? The main star in that one? I remember that. Great episode.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Those old machine guns in that show were a real pain to shoot. I have shot with one, a real mess. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's a, what am I thinking? That's...
Oh, Peter saying, I would buy a Gibson Les Paul if I had cash. There we go.
Yeah. Well, it's a classic guitar for a reason. It was designed by the guy whose name is on it, and he was a classic guitarist.
I love Vic Tayback.
There we go.
Mel.
Thank you, Eric. Fantastic.
Mel Sharples. So the last name of Moffat. Some people ask me, "Are you related?" Oh,
yeah.
Like the original Doctor Who. I haven't watched any of the modern series. I haven't either. Nope.
Yeah. Two votes for Ted back here. Thank you, Eric and Errol. That's you're absolutely right. It was really cool to see Mel on Star Trek at the time. Well, he collected a paycheck, but he delivered a good role. I think the whole conceit there was that one of the planets out there had been taking its cues from 30s movies, and they decided to design their whole civilization around it. This was a way for Star Trek to save money on alien landscapes because they could just whip out a bunch of costumes that the studio already had.
Exactly.
What's in the Desilu costume department? Boom.
Vic Tayback, you are hired.
They were shooting at, was it Universal? I mean, it was one of the big studios. It was where they were shooting there.
Desilu.
I mean, the Desilu studios had that, but they had access to all of this. Oh, Paramount. Yeah, Paramount bought out Desilu. So they had access to all this Paramount stuff. And they could just whip out a bunch of gangster costumes, and they're like, "Okay, we're going with that."
Yeah, Vic Tayback was in more shows and movies than most people realize. He was that guy.
Yeah, he did stuff.
The previous Shiplet Book of American Gangsters by accident.
Here's the thing.
Okay, so
that's the kicker. I love that concept.
I gotta.
Yeah.
I lost
Tayback, he's one of those guys. It's like Dolph Sweet. He actually had a prominent series in the 80s, but you see him in a ton of stuff, just doing character roles, and he's actually very straightforward and pretty funny. So
let's celebrate things. Glendora needs to come onto our Jersey Diner tour. Give her opinions on breakfast. She would love that. She loves to give her opinion on everything.
Oh, this is terrible. We got to move on. Next. What does Paramus have to say?
Paramus.
Yeah, there you go. Where are we? Rahway? Oh, this sounds like a terrible town. Well, I'll try their breakfast anyway. Well, this isn't bad.
Hi, Kalaka Boy. I know I already said hi, but I'm saying hi again. Were you surprised The Brutalist lost the Best Picture Oscar to Honora? A little bit.
I was.
A little bit. I actually enjoyed Honora a lot more, but...
Yeah, I will note that because it has such a big campaign. I was like, this is going to take it because we're spending a lot of money. And we watched both. And I'm like, both movies have their issues, but Honora is very straightforward and presents its tale with a really great ensemble. And I thought that The Brutalist has serious issues. And I was like, this thing's going to take the award. And I'm like, what the hell with this? But I did think that his performance was worthy, and he took it. So there we go.
He was great.
Yeah, it was.
If I have another drink, I'll start breaking down for you my problems with The Brutalist. But anyway,
how much time do you have?
I just enjoyed Honora more. I mean, I saw them both. I thought The Brutalist was good, but I enjoyed Honora. I feel like if you go to the movies to be entertained, I thought that was the more entertaining film. But
it's relatable on many levels. I was at my office. People were talking about Academy things, and I said, "Well,
hi, Pepper Tree. Good to see you.
Hello. I have access to the streamers because of this one over here." And I said, "I can see a lot of stuff that is not up for the Academy Awards because you're not a member, but you are a member of SAG-AFTRA.
SAG-AFTRA.
So I was watching all the SAG-AFTRA nominees, which are a little bit different. And Nora was among them, and so was a brutalist. So I was able to see these things, and I was saying, I was talking about Nora and like how this part is kind of not safe for work, and that part's kind of not safe for work. And I was like, "What am I talking about? It's about a sex worker. None of this is safe for work." So I can't tell you too much about this in a work situation, but if you're interested, you will be entertained.
Okay, we got to catch up. Peter says Dolph Sweet was in Give Me a Break. Yes. And I love that you said that, Peter.
That's it.
That made me so happy.
Yeah.
Dolph Sweet. This is a broadcast where we can talk about Dolph Sweet. Useless Forbidden Planet info. You mentioned Lewis and BB Barron.
I did.
And their score was credited as electronic tonalities. Technically, the movie had no music, and as such, never received recognition at that time for the great work those two contributed. Well, that sucks.
That's typical. And the fact is, one thing is...
Does Glendora have a breakfast wine?
Well, one thing is that the studio didn't actually do a soundtrack album of any kind. Even Rocket Ship XM got a soundtrack album on 10-inch record. And I think that was a much cheaper movie to make. I mean, Planet, I think, was a 2-year production from Universal because they were doing these big, expensive space epics at the time. And you think, you guys had possibility to release, I think they had a distribution deal with Decca, which would have made a great record out of that. And it would have been even better if they'd waited a few years to release it in stereo. That would have been a lot of fun. Like what happened with, say, Around the World in 80 Days, which was this big Tadeo production. Forbidden Planet, I believe, is... What am I thinking of? It's either Scope or Panavision. It's one of those. It's one of those processes. And I was just thinking about the fact that we talked about The Brutalist. The film was actually shot in VistaVision, like 2 years ago. VistaVision hasn't been used since about 1962. Right. That's pretty amazing. And I thought, I don't get why they did that.
Does Glendora have a breakfast wine? Well, sangria, because it has juice in it.
Oh, you got to get your orange juice in the morning. Seriously.
Anthony Caruso was also a great gangster character in other police dramas and shows. Yes.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Another, that guy.
One of those guys.
That's what I was going to look up. Is that website still up?
Yeah. Check out that guy. The other thing I can say about, I'm losing my thread here. We've been talking Forbidden Planet. We've been talking these things, Vista and all that kind of thing.
All right, I'm not finding it. Hold on. I hope it's still there.
It'll come back to me, but definitely. We're talking about a lot of themes as usual because our initial theme is kind of spring, and we're in it. I mean,
tomorrow we're in it.
We're in it now.
I don't know if that website is still there.
Feels like it. It is it. And I was out and eating lunch outside today in Manhattan, and it was pretty glorious. But in the sun, anyway.
There used to be, I don't see it now, but there used to be a website that was that guy. Which was like character actors who were in everything.
Mm-hmm. And it would tell you about all those guys. You're like, oh yeah, But yeah, these people who just worked constantly.
Now Lisa's singing the theme and Give Me a Break.
Hilarious, just great.
I have the soundtrack from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It's fun to listen to.
Includes the Disco 45.
Oh, see, I love that. That root beer float must be delicious. That was an Orange Julius, and I had to have all of the foam, and I'm disappointed that it's gone. That was just as good as I had hoped.
You could lick my foam.
Like my phone, baby. Okay.
Big fun.
Oh, look your phone.
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Yeah, we actually have the recipe will be going to you patrons at the end of the show, and there's great stuff in this. This is actually very simple to make: powdered milk, orange juice, etc. And it's really quite good. I was actually very impressed with the formula they came out with this, and it's adaptable to just making a drink. I'm thinking of Dole Whip, where you could always. If you happen to be at Disney and you happen to be near the Enchanted Tiki Room and you grab a Dole Whip, of course you have a flask in your pocket where you're going to pour in a nip. That distinctly improves a Dole Whip.
March 3rd, 2026. It's the 70th anniversary
70th.
of the 1956 Forbidden Planet release. I love it. Okay, we have to do something.
It's awesome.
We have to
watch it again.
Have a little observation.
Well, bear in mind that the cook on the ship is played by Earl Holliman.
Oh, right.
You love Earl Holliman.
I love Policewoman.
And the fact is, like 3 years later, there he is starring in the first Twilight Zone episode. Hello.
Oh, let's celebrate. It says we've been doing a Jersey diner tour for breakfast for the last 40 years. It's getting to be so many. We have a database of when. I love that.
I really appreciate people who keep notes. Because
yes.
When you think about what did I do? I don't know. It's like, well, why didn't you actually take a little notation about what happened? So now we know where to go back to. It's like, I remember doing something like that for all those tiki joints around Boston, like, who has good crab rangoon, who has a good Mai Tai. And I had all this information, and now they're all gone.
I know. Well, they're not. Most of them are gone.
Most are gone. I think we're down to one. No, we're down to two. We're down to two. And one of them, of course, is Kowloon, where we were last Saturday. Hello.
Character actors get to work more than leads, as people don't recognize them as easy. Yes. I mean, I always think that's the perfect career. You don't want to be you just want to be like the character actor who works all the time. Like John Fiedler or something.
Oh, yeah. He was constant.
He was just everything. He probably had a house in Beverly Hills, but
I mean, basically.
Oh, good night, Peter.
Hi, Peter.
Thank you for dropping by.
Thanks so much. That's so cool. And, Peter, before you go, Sid Dale, take a look up on your streaming service, because I just found some on Apple Music, and there's a lot of Sid Dale out there.
Bill, thank you for dropping by. Enjoy your bass practice.
Yes. Okay. Oh, well, you got to do. You got to do.
There are currently 535 diners, down from 800. Oh, my God.
Good grief. And that's only 10 years ago, it was 800 diners.
Do me a favor.
What do you need?
Grab my phone. Someone's texting me.
Okay, we can get that.
Thank you.
But definitely.
I don't know where it is.
By the way,
I know.
What am I going to do? It's only 9:10.
We could do my gin and tonic thingy. That Orange Julius was delicious. And it was even better with the addition of amber rum.
Quite good. Yeah, I can do that.
Dragnet uses the same gangster people, but no one caught on. I love Dragnet.
Dragnet 67 uses the same actors all the time. There's that gal who is that gal. And she's in the damn episode.
She was probably married to Jack Webb or something.
Probably.
She was in the show all the time. We've never done a Dragnet theme, have we? We've never done a Dragnet theme, have we?
No, and the interesting thing is that I consider Dragnet to have extreme watchability. And maybe
you guys need another cocktail. Oh, geez.
Maybe on my personal basis, I just think that I'm a procedural kind of show kind of guy. So it's something like SVU. We can watch that a lot. But Dragnet is kind of the original procedural where they just like go through a very routine day, and the dialogue is so boring, but you listen to it and you're wrapped because that's what they're doing. And then of course there's the patter between my partner Bill Gannon and I. This is it's a lot of fun, I think. And they take down the perps, and of course the perps are doing they're doing crimes. I'm not going to mince words, so they deserve to be taken in. Scams, and when they're working bunco, it's the best. They were trying to scam old ladies down on Sunset.
All right, just keep talking.
I'm
going to go deal with this. Hold on.
Oh, go take care of business. TC the B. But I do find it kind of fascinating. And then of course there's like Dragnet 52, which was the black and white episodes, where it's a different partner, but it's the same old. There's a really great episode where a classic actor is playing this like Hollywood guy who's fallen into hard times, and he's basically making these like raunchy movies, and they nail him, and he has this whole speech about how he used to be this and that, and now he's just totally broken down. It's kind of touching, actually. They bring him in. He was committing crimes. So there we go. Oh yeah, we're getting escorted by Let's Celebrate. They're one ahead of us. Oh really? I know. I name checked that on Sunday.
We gotta do. I was gonna do some rosy gin and tonics, and I even have the recipe already in there.
Well, I guess we're ready to go. Eric's noting that Adam 12, also a Jack Webb production, was a bit more upbeat. It was a little different. Yeah. They were dealing with a slightly different era, although they were dealing with the same exact era as Dragnet 67. The same themes, gangs, drugs, uppers, downers, and, the agitators, that kind of stuff. And some pretty stiff cops saying, blah, 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 But we used to watch Adam 12 all the time. It was one of those things. So.
All right, I'm back.
We got a vote for Dragnet Live from Lisa.
Oh, I love it.
Well,
I'm just thinking of like the Blue Boy cocktail.
Blue Boy is the first Dragnet 67 episode dealing with the legalization and illegalization of LSD in California. And I can note that at Ohana, that thing we go to, 2018, I think it was, there was a party which was supposed to be a groovy party, and I dressed up as Blue Boy. So there are pictures of me with like half paint, half this, and it was just pretty hilarious. And I was able to get some good comments in at the time. So
Adam 12 was a bit more upbeat. Did you already talk?
I did.
Just the facts, man. Did you tell him about Cardboard Mc2x4?
Oh, no, I did not. Please.
We call Kent McCord Cardboard Mc2x4. I love him. He reminds me of my dad, but yeah, he was very stiff.
He was kind of an 8x10
cardboard
as an actor, and he just kind of delivers that blah blah blah. But he later on appears in, I think it's the Airplane 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
it's kind of funny.
Oh, good. I'm glad you made it. Yay.
Yes.
My mom. Yay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Mc2x4.
Yeah. He was just he's a classic example of one of those people. We just lost one of those actors from the Mod Squad recently, and it was not Clarence and it was not Peggy. I believe they both left us a long time ago, but it was a third guy, Michael. Am I getting that right? Yeah, kind of like spinning it. But that was another thing, and that was an Aaron Spelling production. Wow, we're really getting the gamut tonight. But I remember watching that at the time too, and it was really cool. And they dealt with groovy stuff. Michael Cole, that's it. Yeah, he just died recently.
He died in December.
Boom. So this is the kicker. And look at that hair. Oh man.
Yeah, he had a lot of hair.
But it was the era, and of course you've got like three troubled kids who get drafted by the local constabulary to go investigate crimes, and they do it. That's the Mod Squad. They were cool. Same era as like Laugh-In, which I remember seeing that as a very young child.
So, am I doing this?
Yes, you are.
I need glasses.
Which glasses do you need?
Maybe the Gansett.
Okay,
but we won't be able to see it then.
Do you need the ones with the dots? Do you need the blues?
Those aren't big enough.
Which blues are you thinking?
I know. I got it. Hold on. I got it.
Done. Very good. Lisa loved the Mod Squad. I think it was a cool show. It was one of those things I remember from very young where it was supposed to be good. And then when you get older, you're like, yeah, but was it really? And you watch it again, you're like, yeah, actually, that was pretty cool. They had good scripts. They were timely. They dealt with real issues. A lot of shows at the time were sort of skating around what was going on in the States, but I think they took it head on. Those will work. Absolutely.
All right. So I need to.
I kind of feel like we should have the box set of the Mod Squad.
I think you're right.
We have the box set of Man from U.N.C.L.E., and we've been working our way through it, and we're finally onto the final season.
I need ice.
I'll get you ice. And you know what? I don't care who thinks that they copped out during the run of the series. I will watch any uncle.
Should I have another cocktail? Just do it.
Should I have? All
right.
Hey, I got a scoop right here.
You don't want me to touch your ice?
I'm not saying that. I don't want you to get cold.
All right, fine.
Last year.
All right, fine.
There we go.
Ice some dad.
Ice some daddy. 8 to the bar.
That's plenty of ice. So I'm doing something that I'm calling the
what?
Rosy Gin and Tonic. 1.5 ounces rose petal gin, and then a can of the Q tonic, but only because it's 7.5 ounces.
Yeah.
a dash of cherry bitters, a squeeze of lemon juice. So, hi, Ryan. Good to see you. The later Uncle movies were questionable. Yeah, I know. I still love them, though. Okay. Rosie, the robot cocktail.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't argue
Speaking
with that.
of...
Oh, wait, that's...
robots.
The wrong side.
That's it. There you go. Yep.
That's the right side.
Shot and a pony and a shot, as I like to say. Where's my pony?
Beer and a shot.
Pacey's and a G-string, beer and a shot. Zuba zaba zuba zaba zuba zaba zoo. Name that artist.
I think most people can. That was a
I hope
popular
so.
song.
It's a well-known tune. No big deal.
Zuba's
But also,
eyes, Zuba's eyes, Zuba's eyes. Huh?
Yeah. But hello, Ryan, as well. I think I said hi to Ryan.
I did.
Yeah, that's good. And we're talking about a variety of topics on the show. As usual, the basic Meister theme is spring is here, because it is. I know, it's official tomorrow. Yeah, big deal. I've had warm weather for almost a week here. It's been super changed from 2.5 weeks ago when I had 3 inches of ice on the driveway.
I was looking at the forecast for New Hampshire, and when we're there, it's supposed to be nice, but next Monday, it's supposed to snow. So spring isn't, winter isn't done.
Yeah.
With the Northeast.
Winter always has a way to kick you in the keister at the end of the whole deal.
It's going to be 30 from 80 tomorrow. Oh my God, that's nuts. 50-degree spread.
Well, this morning I left the house and I said, do I need a scarf? And I take a look at the temperature, it says 34. I'm like, well, it's frozen. You need a scarf. So I happen to have one and I was good. I get to the train station, hop on a train. I get to big city. Well, I don't need a scarf. And in the afternoon, forget it. I didn't need the jacket. It literally doubled in temperature during the day. And there you go.
Crazy.
Now I'll take one of these.
Okay, we're not quite done yet, though.
I will wait for completion.
Okay. These glasses were... Okay, it's very full. All right,
that's fine.
There's another sip in there.
There was.
Okay. All right, hold on.
These are quite good. I really like the Q mixers, and it's the perfect size for one drink.
I still need the squeeze.
I'm taking the squeeze.
And, some juice got on the computer. Okay.
Oh, shucks.
And this keyboard is a little
wonky.
Some of the keys are a little sticky.
You don't say.
So what happened to the cherry bitters? Here they are.
There you go.
It also calls for cherry bitters.
There we go.
My version, the Rosie gin and tonic. Okay. Get some cherry bitters. All right, that works.
LCTV is asking about, or just noting, The Prisoner. Of course. Oh, big fan of that from the 80s.
Oh boy, we have.
They got syndicated when I was a teenager, and I was like, wow, I was all over that show. And I still think that's just about the best thing ever done for television.
Paul and I have we have different viewpoints of The Prisoner. I love it. I think that it's great. But I hate that I know how every episode is going to end. He's just going to end up back there.
Of course you do. That's the point of the show.
I know, but that's a lot for me. Like, I just want to be surprised one time.
Keep watching the series. Curious things happen by the end of the show.
My car's still apart. 35 centimeters of ice. Oh my gosh, Ryan. Yikes.
Yeah. I was hearing that I think it was Montreal was supposed to get snow. And I was like, oh, for Pete's sake, enough.
My dad told me never to plant anything that can't handle a frost until after Easter.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So where you are, it's Easter. Here it's Mother's Day.
Yeah.
That Mother's Day is considered safe for planting.
Safe zone.
Yeah.
We've got some plants outside. I put them out there because we had some super days. And then, of course, I get out there today and it's frozen. I thought I might have killed them, but we'll see what. The rosemary should be able to survive because I had it inside during the super permafrost. But I don't know about the other one. That's, I think, oregano. It might be a little slightly delicate. Rosie is good in cold temperatures, just not frozen. It will not survive that. And but it's a Mediterranean plant, so there you go.
She wants that Hogan Heroes where they escape and then escape back to prison. At least you're waiting to see what happens. Like, they might be stupid, but you're waiting to see what happens.
Well, just knowing the conclusion doesn't mean you can't enjoy the action leading up to that conclusion.
Oh, let's celebrate things. The Q mixers are a bit over carbonated. Okay.
Well,
all right.
I'm enjoying them, and I have no problem. But
I like that the cans are small.
I like the cans are small, and there is competition for that in good tonic out there, because
Victoria Day. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
I love it.
Now, are we talking that Victoria? I assume, since you're a Commonwealth country.
Never could get into it. Move too slow. Oh, The Prisoner, Eric? You thought move too slow? Yeah. Yay, another cocktail. Pepper Tree says.
Yay. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say something. Move too slow. Yeah, I think for me, it was just, I knew that, like, no matter what he did, no matter how well he planned, no matter what he did, he was always going to end up back there. And I found that incredibly depressing.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
You think that, like, why can't he ever? But the point of the show is that life is like that. You will do this and that technique, and what's going to happen?
Topic change. Favorite vermouths. Oh, I like that. What is it? Method?
Oh, there's that one that we were able to get that was a Spanish vermouth, which I thought was excellent. And they make an excellent brandy as well.
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I gotta think about it. We haven't had it.
All right, hold on. I gotta look on Mid Valley. There's a vermouth that's really good and not expensive.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of the stuff that's actually made in Spain. And we tried it. I thought it was good, but we don't get there all the time.
Hold on.
So we use it. It runs out. I got to go back there to get it. It'll come. I can always just search.
Trying to remember the name of it. Like,
it's definitely on their shelf, and they have a really huge amount of vermouth these days. A lot of product from Cocky, which is really fun. Dolan is, of course, excellent.
The name of it. I want to say Method, but I don't. Is that it? No.
Keep looking. We got 2 pages of vermouths.
Vermouths. I like the way you said that. Method Spirits.
Oh, yeah.
Method Spirits.
Dry vermouth.
I like it because it's really good and it doesn't break the bank.
I'm trying to see if they've got the one I was thinking of.
Oh, Ransom. I haven't tried that one, but that's a 375. Never mind.
Okay. It's kind of a small bottle.
Yeah. I like Method Spirits for that reason.
They don't seem to have the one I was thinking of. Now I got to actually search that out. I thought it was a very good product. And excellent brandy.
Most people don't live vermouth.
Don't like vermouth.
Oh. The fact that it is old and they don't realize it needs to be refrigerated. Yes.
Yeah. It's a wine product.
Yeah. Actually, Lindy from Mid Valley told us that.
Yeah.
Yes, from the store we're talking about.
And frankly, the same with your fortified wines, your sherry, your Amontillado. You want to fridge that.
Amy's here. Good to see you. We're just hanging out with Amy last weekend and went to her fabulous birthday party.
Amy had a birthday, so we said we got to show. And Amy was actually very kind to truck us.
And Jennifer, hi Jennifer.
Truck our Tukai into Boston, where we found a couple of great places to have a few rounds and some great food.
Yes, yeah. Jennifer, it's been a minute. Good to see you.
Yes. Excellent. So good to see you. But definitely.
Just Method Spirits affect method acting. It couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt.
Well, if you have a few rounds before you go on, or better yet, after you've been on, that's a good idea. That's a little something.
Before you've been on it's such a cliche. Such an actor cliche.
Take a shot, go do the show. If you're capable and you can do it, that's a thing. But I kind of think afterwards with a little vermouth is a good thing to soothe the vocal cords. So.
But yeah, it was so good to see Amy last week.
It was fantastic.
Amazing.
Really. Yeah. And I dearly appreciate somebody who will drive into Boston for me, because I'm like, oh, please. And
I know.
But ultimately, it's simple enough to get in. And if your Sherpa can get you around the joint, it's very easy to walk around. It's a good walking city. I recall that from when I was a kid. I spent a lot of time in Boston.
And Dora and Maurice from Bewitched, like Italian vermouth, Spanish gin, and Greek olive.
A Greek olive.
I love Endora so much.
Oh, there's the thing.
And Maurice, but
we have literally been told that we are not drinkers the way a lot of people think of drinkers. Well, you don't booze. It's like you're like Larry and Louise Tate. You know, you're just luscious. I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
Ooh, Jennifer's enjoying a boozy smoothie. Jennifer, earlier in this broadcast, I made an Orange Julius and we added amber rum to it, and it was amazing.
Pretty damn good idea.
Amazing. Yes. So if you can get an Orange Julius, add some amber rum, and it is.
And if you can't, you're going to send around the recipe to our patrons. Just saying. Yeah, fantastic.
Aw. Hashtag Larry and
Louise. Darren, you know.
Larry because a friend came over. This was, I think this was before we even lived in this house, and we've been in this house for 22 years.
Count them years as of this month.
22 years as of we closed on the 21st.
Yeah.
So 22 years as of
2 days.
Friday, we've been homeowners.
It's a wonderful
and this was before we moved into this house, but a friend came to our apartment and saw our bar, and she was like, "You guys are alcoholics." And we're like, if we were alcoholics, there wouldn't be any booze here because we would have drunk it all.
Yeah.
But also, our friend, when we told our friend that, he's like, "You guys just drink like Larry and Louise Tate." So ever since then.
And you've seen plenty of
Amy
episodes.
wants an Orange Julius now. Amy, you're going to get the recipe. You're going to get the recipe.
You're going to get it as a patron.
Yeah. Yep.
If you see the tag at the bottom of the screen, Patreon, that really helps us. By the way, anybody who wants to throw some likes on this show, we really appreciate that. I never think about that, but it really does help us with these platforms because that's how you're judged.
Mixed berry with some blackberry Crown Royal. Oh, okay. I would try that.
Hello.
You know? Smoothie with acai berry and booze.
There you go.
I would try that too.
Acai with all of its like antioxidants.
Our sweet Italian vermouth isn't good anymore since we've had it since 2006. Oh yeah. Get another one.
You can replace that, and if you've got like a bottom shelf brand recommendation, at least check out one of the brands like Noilly or Dolan because they're much better. It really makes a big difference. I mean, we were at a party where somebody went on Manhattan and there was a bottle of vermouth behind the bar that had been there since the year or two. And it was a lot of effort to get that cap off. And I thought, oh, wow. But whatever, you know. But I actually recommended the host, keep this in the fridge from now on. And he did. So.
Who's that?
Oh,
whisper in my ear.
I can't remember, but I'll tell you the name.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm spacing right now because I'm working. I
can't remember his name.
Hey, look, I'm working. So there we go.
So all the time, I have too much booze in my house, so I wouldn't qualify. I know.
You couldn't possibly be an alkie because you actually do things for life and you collect.
Exactly.
You collect liquor and you use it.
Already hit the like. Thank you, Errol.
Thank you, sir. You know, the fact is, like, we give you ideas and you're like, I can make that. I've got all that stuff. And I'm like, that's awesome. Play along with our home game.
Exactly.
Remember, every contestant gets a copy of our home game. So this is the important part with this. But
now I feel like we need a home game.
Well, shiver me timbers. There's a good idea. We've already had.
Hi, Sherry. Good to see you.
Hey, Sherry. We've already had a friend who's a big gaming guy tell us that he really wants to put together the giant shrews game. Isn't that the one?
Killer Shrews.
The Killer Shrews. That's it. He wants to put together the game board version of the Killer Shrews, and basically, like every third step, you take a martini.
I would play that.
I think I'm in. That's just hilarious. The fact that somebody would think about that. In the game pieces have to be these little plastic shrews. Oh man, that's fantastic.
Bunny crowd.
I
love it.
You can make a game out of a hell of a lot of things. And I think that like somebody could have a lot of fun making like the Kelly and Paul board game. Woohoo! If anybody's interested, it's up to you. Let us know. I have a lot on my plate right
we'll
now.
License you our name.
We'll license it to you. Talk to our legal department.
Definitely need a home board game. Wouldn't that be funny?
You know?
I like the Killer Shrews idea, though, because if you haven't seen the movie The Killer Shrews,
oh, man.
They are up against some killer shrews, as you might have guessed.
They are enlarged. Shrews, of course, are this big. They are these shrews who are the size of German Shepherds.
They're the size of dogs.
Yeah, which were basically playing the shrews.
Every time someone gets stressed, they're like, I'd like another martini. Like, is the whole movie is like, can you make me a martini?
There's like
I'm going to make martinis.
A lot of martinis get consumed during the course of this, because starting with like the guy arrives with the supplies, and the scientist who's running this whole island is like, I can invite you inside for a drink. Would you like a martini?
Would you like a martini?
And he's like, yeah, I go.
Yeah, I like a Shakespeare, right? Exactly.
You know, I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
Quality filmmaking right there.
Killer Shrews was produced on as to be a double bill. The other half of that double bill in 1959 was
Giant Gila Monster.
What a great twofer. You can probably get that on one DVD. DVDs, what are those?
We have it on.
We do, in fact, have both of those.
So like an Attack of Killer Tomatoes to watch if they're all drinking martinis.
You do. I don't think it's actually that like Tomatoes, although it's in a vein.
It's definitely we taught a symposium at Tiki Oasis, and
2016 perhaps.
I made kind of a I want to say collage. What am I thinking of?
What was it?
When you string a bunch of film clips together.
A montage.
Montage. I'm thinking collage. I made a montage of clips from these classic horror films. Well, classic B horror films, where people were drinking or trying to drink or whatever. And
Killer Shrews featured prominently.
It did. Monster of Piedras Blancas. She was all about popping pills.
Yeah. A lot of poppers in that one.
Yeah. There's a lot of drinking in these films.
It was a thing at the time.
This movie sounds like my parents' house. Oh, jeez.
And I got to say, it was
the classics.
It was actually a little easy for you to put that together in terms of finding clips. The work was the work.
Oh, here, I'll
hilarious.
Still laugh about the blob. You telling me you couldn't outrun that thing? I always say that. It was like it was not moving fast.
You notice that the blob tends to get people in enclosed spaces, like the guy who's actually working on the car. So,
no shrews were harmed. No.
No, they weren't. I think they actually have a small
dolls,
a small like mouse-like animal during the production of this movie that might have actually been a shrew. So,
and then there was how was that called?
Thinking about that. What's the plot? Who's in it?
Monster from the Ocean Floor.
Oh yeah, with like the self-powered submarine. That's kind of a cool picture.
Yes, that was very cool. Blue dolls. We had too many martinis. I know. Those movies
they were
are
hallucinating.
The best. I love them.
Always enjoy.
But that one, the guy came up and he's like, the woman has to like figure out what's going on, and the guy's like comes up and he's drunk, and she's like. She gives him a bottle of tequila. like, here, I need you to tell me what's going on here. And he's like, oh, okay. And like grabs it and like pops
glug, 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 glug.
And starts chugging it down.
Now he's not going to be able to tell you anything.
Yeah. We have a poster in our bedroom from
not Horror Party Beach. That's actually out in the
it just totally went out of my brain.
Beach
Girls and the Monster.
Beach
Girls and the Monster.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of imbibing happening in Beach Girls and the Monster.
Yes, they definitely do.
There's no such thing as too many martinis unless you fell and can't get up for another one. Jeez. Yeah, definitely in these films.
Well, you like a martini.
2 at the most.
3
I'm under the table.
4.
I'm under my house.
No. Speaking of Dorothy Parker, we have to credit her every time.
Yes. But Beach Girls and the Monster, there's they live, which when you think about it, in our 2025 view, that scientist never would have been able to afford that home.
No, forget it.
Like on the beach.
He's on the beach
with this big pool in Malibu. It's like, you're not a film producer. You can't afford that house.
Guy's living off of grants. So,
but anyway, he did in this, and they had this huge home bar, and a lot of the action took place at that bar.
Yeah, with his his Randy unfaithful wife there screaming at him all the time.
Beach Girls and the Monster. Nobody really famous is in it. So
yeah, I think that
and the music is by Frank Sinatra Jr.
That's the thing to be.
I do love that film. So many of the women in that film are so bitchy.
Yeah.
That when the monster gets them, you're like,
good riddance.
Yeah, whatever.
You're done. Well, it's like
he was in the script.
It's like a Horror of Party Beach, where like the bad girl is like really, really irritating. Yeah. You're like, oh well, you can go. That's the kicker.
I kind of like her.
But
maybe the scientist had family money. Yeah, there you go, Amy. I like that.
That's the kicker. That makes a lot more sense than what you're seeing.
Because I'm like, you can't afford that place.
Yeah, no way, not happening.
The monster ate her.
The killer. I'm thinking of.
I'm not going to give away the ending because.
No, you'll just have to see it for yourself. It's easily had on various streamers, and you can probably always find a disc these days.
And it was one of those troubled young man films, like the one that's on the video with Little Shop.
That's a companion movie or a short?
Movie.
Little Shop. Do we have Little Shop? Which Little Shop are we talking?
The original.
And we have it on our DVD, huh?
Damn. What
now I'm spacing.
Roger Corman.
And I'm usually the one who spaces
it's like
these
The Prisoner.
Things.
Okay. Oh man, my brain is fried. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. I'm usually the one to space out because I'm just doing a lot all the time. Brain is well too occupied. So I really appreciate when people will fill in for me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. Boom, done. I used to be able to call this stuff up at the drop of a hat. But then the things that I still can call up.
Okay, it's going to drive me nuts.
Are kind of amazing. So, okay, good. It is not The Man with the X-Ray Eyes.
Damn it, no.
Although that's a fun one too. So, wow, look at all that. Premature Burial. I remember seeing that in junior high school.
Bucket of Blood.
Bucket of Blood.
A Bucket of Blood.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
He's a troubled young man. Dick
Bucket
Miller.
of Blood.
Dick Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun beatnik picture. Like a lot of like beatnik poetry going on.
Troubled young man.
You know, he makes these statues and he's like, wow, it's really lifelike, man.
Hi,
that's so cool.
Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Yay.
Hello. Good to see you.
My younger son is visiting as he has a conference in San Francisco. They make him enchiladas for dinner tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
I got stuff to make his favorite pina coladas to go with dinner. That sounds lovely.
Enchiladas and coladas?
Rebel without a cause.
I'm in. You know?
This is like Rebel without a cause, but without any redeeming qualities.
Rebel without intelligence. He's kind of a dumb nuts.
With no redeeming qualities.
And then, of course, in Little Shop, you have the incredible Jonathan Hayes, who really does a great work there.
I love both of those films. And apparently they were going to remake Little Shop of Horrors, the musical, again, but the pandemic killed it. So I don't know if it's still happening.
I doubt it needs to be remade, like so many things.
They were going to remake it with
insists.
Scarlett Johansson as Audrey.
And they needed to have like a bigger profile cast to make it a more expensive picture. The fact that Little Shop, the movie, was an expensive picture because it was made on a sound
without
stage.
A clue, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, now you're talking. Amy for the win.
Black and Tans from Fenton's Ice Cream. I've heard of Fenton's from people I know who live in the Bay Area.
Oh, geez, that just really
sounds amazing.
I remember being in the Bay Area, and we decided to go to Ghirardelli and just like grab like a something, and like what you could grab was like huge. A sundae, and it was massive. And I was like, this is awesome. I was really happy with that. I know it's touristy, but Fenton's it was really kind of great.
Like, I want to say like Oakland or somewhere. It's not in the. Is it in the city? I feel like I want to say it's somewhere not in San Francisco, but in the Bay Area. But I don't know. What do I know?
Well, some of our favorites.
What do I know?
Some of our favorites, like Forbidden
Oakland,
Island, are in the Bay Area.
Oakland.
Ding. There we go. Speaking of Oakland, Forbidden is just fabulous. You know, and there was the deal several years ago where the proprietor I was fixing an 8-track tape on the show, and he gets in touch with us, and he's like, "You fixed those?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a bunch of broken ones." I said, "Send them." Yeah. I fixed them all. I got them back to him. He's been playing them, so it's good.
It was featured in the movie Up. Oh my god!
Oh wow!
Okay, now I gotta watch it again. We have seen that, but yeah.
Speaking of
Eric is saying I own crazy amounts of B movies like Damnation Alley. We do too.
Oh, now you're talking.
We do too, because there was a period where you could buy that stuff for so cheap. Like you would just see them out and about and be like $5 for 20 films. It's like, okay.
Yep. Yeah. These things are available.
Boy George. Yes, Kalaka Boy. Yes, Boy
right.
George will be returning to Moulin Rouge. I want to see it. He will not perform Tuesday evenings. I want to see that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm available for that.
Yeah. Interesting.
She's a real parking lot. It was like the one in the movie.
You know? I'm thinking
some are not available on the open market. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, you know,
I like that.
The market doesn't contain everything. There's some really good reasons for that. Usually licensing will be the limiting factor. Yeah. But these days, anything goes. I mean, we are broadcasting you from 2 platforms, one of them Facebook, one of them YouTube. YouTube, of course, is the home of about 1 trillion videos these days. And the legality of posting them online is extremely questionable. But you can see things like episodes of Hollywood Palace, which are not available elsewise. And really, I mean, they're in pretty good color. They're from somebody's like 3rd generation tape, and they're actually they're fascinating.
Or you know? My personal favorite, the Brady Bunch Variety Hour.
Oh boy, be still the heart.
Have we ever done a Brady Bunch Variety Hour happy hour? Because I love that. Oh, Jennifer, thank you for dropping by. It was good to see you. We missed you.
Thank you so much. Yay. I really appreciate that you could spend
the Black Market Web.
Almost 2 hours with us. Fantastic. And well, if the husband requires it, I suppose you could get that going on. I wonder why he didn't get that going. Just saying. I would have. Maybe he's going to mix drinks for you. Hello.
Cindy Brady cocktail. Oh. I love the Brady Bunch Variety Hour. Happy hour. Maybe we'll do that next week.
It was astonishingly bad. But of course, it was Croft. Croft, that's their trademark right there.
Astonishingly bad?
Yes.
Dreadful and yet so entertaining.
Fascinating, Captain.
I like that. Dreadful and yet so entertaining. Astonishingly bad. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot. I'm thinking of like when you see the critics' quotes about a film, like amazing, incredible, blah blah blah, dreadful and yet so entertaining. Astonishingly bad. I keep trying to screenshot this, and then more people.
It's difficult.
Okay, one more try. Let me do it up here. Okay, got it. I got it.
Thank you. That's good.
A Three's Company themed broadcast. Yes. Okay, so our friend is friends with Joyce DeWitt.
Yes.
It would be amazing if we could get her to come on.
It would be an honor that I couldn't even describe.
Oh my gosh.
She's been there. She has done that. And she does like a lot of theater. I mean, Joyce just.
Better than Cats. It was better than Cats.
Better than Cats.
It was better than Cats.
I think it was better than Cats. And this is coming from somebody who's seen a lot of theater. So.
I love the Three's Company idea. I love
Yes, hello.
Brady Bunch Friday Hours, a train wreck you couldn't turn away from. That's why I love it.
It was just that kind of thing. And like all of those damn swimmers giving you goony eyes at the camera. It's the like the Croftettes. You just want to find Sid and Marty and say, what is wrong with you? You know? But there's like, they're just saying like, hello, hello. So
yes.
Like, there's nothing wrong with
we
them.
We have a friend who's friends with Joyce DeWitt.
Yeah.
She's a faux friend of a friend.
Didn't she actually do voiceover for his epic?
Yes, she did.
Somewhere he's got recordings of Joyce so that he will animate one of these centuries. I think that I need to actually help him with that because it's not going to happen otherwise.
Recreate Carol Burnett, Gone with the... Oh my gosh, went with the wind.
Went with the wind. I mean, hello, perfect.
Saw in the window and had to have it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, hello, perfect. Oh, Eric's noting Lidsville. I remember Lidsville as a very young child because of the huge top hat that grew, and he fell in.
Yes,
and that was Butch Patrick.
Amy is in the local Mrs.
Oh, yes,
group. We
that's
talked about this on the weekend.
The Caftan Society, right there. You know, one of these days we'll actually show up because you have plenty of wear that we'll do, and I have to show up.
I could show up as Mrs.
I have to show up in my, my vest and my toolbox because I got to be Stanley. You got to represent. Helen.
No, just show up in your leisure suit.
Well, it could be frilly, I guess. That's very true.
We do killer Halloween parties, so that could be a new theme. Oh my gosh, I love doing Halloween episodes.
Now you're talking.
Oh.
Speaking of Halloween, if anybody here has actually made mitzvah, a week ago I was introduced to Purim, and that was a pretty unique experience. It was actually pretty fun. But I was doing face painting. I've never done it before, and that's my first. Or
Mr. Furley, exactly. Hey, who was on Lidsville and Match Game? Charles Manson Riley.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom.
I know it's Charles. I know it's Charles Nelson Riley, but
well,
there was a band called Charles Manson Riley. So.
Well, you're just thinking like, I would be able to find the answer, but Brett keeps distracting me.
Oh my God! Hold on.
Yes, Charles Nelson Riley, Butch Patrick from Phantom Tollbooth was the guy. Also later of Segment and the Sea Monsters. Hello.
Do you want to be Charles or Brett?
I'll be Charles, please.
Okay, so our friend Chris Orlando of Zanti Jewelry made us these finger puppets. I've got the Brett finger puppet.
I've got Charles. Oh, yeah.
Winter chicken dinner.
Listen. I have 4 ounces of amber fluid in my glass. Brett it's obviously iced tea.
Brett is holding her little card says, I'm drunk.
And his says, boobies. Because you could never go wrong with boobies on that show, which is so true. I'm going to place
the
Shows right over here. Weren't we just at the Shows Hotel with Amy?
You were at the Shows Hotel.
Less than 1 week ago.
Hashtag finger puppets. I know.
Seriously. Thank you. Thank you, Pepper. That's just, that's awesome. Those are just killer. We really should put you in touch with Zanti because you would flip.
My brother's wife's favorite holiday is Halloween. He says it's a little disturbing to him. I love it. And Charles Nelson Riley showed up at one of our Roper rooms. I love that.
I'm getting killed here.
These are our people.
Really, really amazing. Yeah, Eric, you do pick Richard. You always have to pick Richard.
Phantom Tollbooth is a pain in the buns to find on DVD.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I remember.
So I believe that.
I think I remember seeing it extremely long time ago, but then I saw it something like 30 years ago as an adult.
Oh yeah.
And thought, okay, this is it's bringing back memories. It's very cool. Yeah, because he drives to the toll booth as live action and then turns animated. Animation is by Chuck Jones in that.
Yeah, you do have to pick Richard for the secret word. I love that it always comes back to Match Game. This is not the first time one of our live happy hours is
come back to Match Game. Perhaps we simply need to do an actual Match Game live with this crowd.
Yes. But you need to, if Richard is there, you have to pick Richard because he actually gets kind of tortured if he doesn't get the word right. He really, really wants to help you make that money.
He wants you to make that money. Some of these other people are like, I don't know. And they're just space cadets. I'm like, great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
But, some of them will do it just fine. I think if you pick Brett,
yes, Richard gets picked a lot because he actually cares.
Who was Patty on that show?
Oh, the one from that.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, she was pretty left field with those answers.
Oh, Butch Patrick plays Milo in Phantom Tollbooth.
He's driving this like miniature car, as I recall. It's kind of cool. And through the thing, but most of it's animated. Again, and it really fits in with a lot of those Chuck Jones projects. Thank you. Whatever her
Oh, Pepper Tree got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pepper Tree was ahead of me.
Whatever her merits, otherwise she's a terrible contender on that game.
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Not good.
Well, I was I was reading Brett Summers' memoir, and actually we met her.
Yes. Because we saw her show.
If you haven't heard this story, I mean, if you have heard this story, I'm going to tell it again. But we were watching a lot of Match Game on whatever we have.
Whatever we had. Probably cable at the time.
Yeah, because it was Game Show Network.
Yep.
GSM. Yeah, we don't have cable anymore. Yeah. But it's on like Tubi now or whatever. But anyway, so I got very into this, and I realized Brett Summers was doing a cabaret show in New York City. I was like, we have to go.
You were right.
So
we did.
We did, and it was great. It was very fun.
It was fab.
But when it was over, most of the people in the audience were people she knew. But she's like having this long conversation with this woman who's really monopolizing her. And I'm just standing there. I'll wait all night. And so when we finally met her, we're like, we're such fans and everything. And she was as sweet as she could be.
She was fantastic.
She signed our program. She was so happy that someone she didn't already know showed up to her show.
Yeah.
But yeah. But anyway, in her memoir, she was talking about how like that was not water in those glasses.
No. It was one of two.
Oh, fluids. Betty White. Yes. Betty White was on Match Game too.
And Fanny Flagg. Hello.
Funny. How about a live stream of multi-channels doing a square on each of the Hollywood? I love that idea. If you can make that work, I'm all about participating.
Of such ideas is this show a facilitator. We come up with a concept, and then you run with it, and suddenly we got a thing.
See Kelly in the middle square, PTV in the bottom left, and so on. I love it. I love Fanny Flagg too. She's so good.
Hollywood Squares.
I love this idea.
Don't we need a Paul Lynde in the center square?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Oh, I was thinking it was actually, boom, that kind of thing. So,
who's the bitchiest person here?
And what, on the stage? Neither of us.
Oh no.
But we could definitely find people who could do it.
Glendora could be on there.
Oh yeah, she might be a great center square. As a matter
They're all
fact.
Drunk as skunks. Got to meet Charles Olympian on what was under those desks. Yes.
Boom. Yeah.
I love this. I love this idea.
Peter in the center square. Yeah, I think that he could nail it. I'm just saying. Hello.
Oh my gosh, this would be so funny.
Okay, I think we got a concept brewing here that, speaking of the term brewing, that might reach fruition. You don't get to use that word too often in conversation.
And Charlie Weaver in the lower left corner. Oh my God.
Oh,
yes. We have the equipment to make that work. Okay.
Hello.
I love that.
Multi-way Zoom.
I'm in.
Yep. I mean, we can do like a two-way call here with what we got. We might even be able to do a four-way. I'm not so sure about a six-way.
Paul Lynde was the center square for the original.
That's a thing. For pithy comments and Bon's Mott.
Bon's Mott. Ellen Waits could also be a square.
No. Yeah, but she never gets to answer.
She never gets to answer. She keeps getting interrupted.
Do you mind?
Oh, man.
Ellen, thank you for the call to Ellen Waits, our epic. We still need to capitalize on our epic. I mean, it really was a lot of effort, which I adore. It was a great experience, and I would do it again and again and again. Do we have other movies in us? We're making one right now.
We are, and and Ellen Waits. We're trying to find a home for it that's not YouTube.
YouTube is
that's where Ellen Waits
terrible
stands
place
right now.
because you will just die in the vine. I want something where
let Ellen and Paul go ahead.
people can see it and it can work, and something where we can make a few shekels would be okay too. I know that there is no commercial market, generally speaking, for such things, but we're very happy with great ideas because we got more content in us. We're going to keep producing it. We're here to see you every Wednesday for a couple of hours. I've told you about a few commercial plugs. You're looking at Patreon down there. We still have glassware, people. This is your perfect wine glass. Also holds a complete Mai Tai.
Although the wine glasses are not in our store because it is so expensive to ship them.
Better if you see us.
That we can either do it in person or get in touch with us and we'll figure something out.
But better than usual shipping. Yeah. Oh, and we have towels still, of course. And we still have copies of Ceviche available for you, all of you LP fans. You want to see this gal on cover of an LP? We have them. We dropped the link earlier. Drop it again, please.
All right, fine.
Yep. So it is good to know that we have product because that's how the show gets supported. And that helps us to buy things like bottles of liquor. So we can try out crazy things that you don't need to buy and tell you yay or nay.
All right.
And then maybe you do need to buy it. I don't know. It's good to get a recommendation because we've had stuff where we thought that's pretty underwhelming. And for the price, so it is good to get a review like that. We've tried many of them, but not them all.
We drink the liquor so you don't have to.
Yeah,
unless it's good. And then we'll tell you
that you have to.
You can drink it.
Yeah, that's a kicker. All right. I think I've actually given you all the commercial plugs for the show. Remember to give us a few likes. That does help us. If you're watching the rebroadcast, I think a like would still help us. Obviously, you cannot comment on existing comments, but you can add. And you can always send us a personal when you're like, you did that thing. I want to know what it was. We'll look it up.
Although
we will remember.
It's probably better to email us. So I'm going to tell you rather than drop it here.
Mm-hmm.
Velveteen Lounge NY at gmail.com.
Very important.
Yes, because if you message us on Facebook, they make you go through their weird meta business center. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Very silly.
But anyway,
there are other
Velveteen
ways.
Lounge NY at gmail.
And if the spies are listening, that'll be plugged here so we get a lot of spam. But honestly, you are not spam. We will listen to what you have to say.
Tanqueray 10. And I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you all so much.
Please.
All right.
It's a fantastic couple hours on a Wednesday. I do have to go, but so do you. And we're so glad you could be with us for this whole time. Some people have to drop in and drop out, but like a lot of people stay at the line. I mean, we're here to give you some entertainment. This is the thing. And we come up with fun ideas. We go from there. Great inspirations have happened. Apparently there's a match game show in the works. We'll see what happens. I would have been able to make it happen sooner, but Brett got in the way.
Thank you for seeing me. Oh my gosh. That is so nice.
Well, of course.
That made me so happy that you said that. Oh.
Yeah, please. All right. And obviously remember,
Amy, I'm glad too.
Remember that Let's Celebrate is right there for you on Sundays, and Pepper Tree is right there for you on Mondays. Don't forget to watch their shows.
Yes.
They are fantastic entertainment. So that's all my plugs for the evening. It's about that time. Thank you so much. We will come up with another fun idea next week.
Brady Bunch Variety
Hour. What's that?
Brady Bunch Variety Hour.
Well, maybe that's the theme. We'll go with that. She'll let you know in advance. Maybe watching on your socials. We still use these as long as they're good, and I don't know what they're good for, but obviously we're able to see you. So that's fantastic. Otherwise, I've got no audience. Remember, as always, if you're a patron, you'll get these recipes. If you're not a patron, consider it. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. No matter where you go, and no matter what you do, remember that we'll see you soon.
Hi, Clinton.
Hey, Clinton.
And good night, everyone.
Bye, Clinton.
Good night.
Thank you.